Oh, oh, where are you going? Hey, listen, if I'm going to take the time to teach you how to do all this stuff, then you get your butt back out in that garage. And then you smash the subscribe and like button because I'm an awesome guy and I like to give free information. So you should do me a favor. But don't be walking away. We got things to learn today and to fix. So you better go grab your tools and get out in that garage right now. Right now. What are you waiting for? Go. Jeez. What's up, guys? My name is Daniel, and today we're going to cover a topic that really is not even open to interpretation. This is something that really needs to be understood thoroughly, and this has been gone over time and time again. But I'm going to see if I can break this down with a solid, good explanation so you know how to roll forward, especially during the cold season, with proper heating in your trailer if you're not going to be running your furnace. A lot of people don't like the idea of having to run tons of propane to keep their heater warm, so they go get what we call space heaters. These wonderful things, these big old space heaters and small heaters, and the problem with these, you guys, is that these take way too much power to operate, and the plugs, the GCFV plugs, I can't even say it right now. The plugs in your trailer that you plug into, your wall plugs, are not designed for that kind of power and amperage output. Okay? If you are going to run a heater, I would suggest a ceramic heater. So yes, this is ceramic. There's a bunch of ceramic heaters out there. If you are going to do a wall plug heater system, you cannot run a 1500 watt, an 1100 watt, 800 watt, 900 watt, 700 watt. All of these are way too much power for your outlets to handle. They will act like capacitors with no offload switch. Basically nowhere to dissipate the heat that's being created from those plugs. The plugs in trailers are not like homes where you plug into your outlet and it can handle that kind of amperage load. Your trailers and your RVs were never meant to handle that kind of amperage load. Not only that, even though you could run devices, high yield devices, high amperage devices for short periods of time, right? They're still not designed to run more than 80% of their capacity. So 1500 watts is completely pushing the plug to its max. And the other problem is all of the plugs in your trailer normally run all on one circuit. So if you create a problem in this plug, then it's going to create a problem with this plug, then it's going to create a problem with that plug, domino effect, so on and so forth. It is the fastest, simplest, easy way to burn your entire electrical system out of your trailer and start a fire, because the back of those plugs are taking so much amperage load, they will get hot and melt, and then the components will touch, and now you have a very serious fire hazard on your hands. It is very problematic. Be very careful when using ceramic heaters. Can you use ceramic heaters? Yes. Is there a way to do it safely? Yes. Can you run more than one? You're not really supposed to. One 500 watt heater would be acceptable. Minimal chance of serious issue for your trailer or fires or inconveniencing the wall plug to a point where it melts down. 500 watts would be acceptable. There's tons, and I mean tons, of nice little 500 watt heaters that you can find in the ceramic lineup on Amazon for very cheap. I would stay away from Temu and I would stay away from eBay because they lie very often on the actual output of their devices. Amazon is normally pretty darn good about ensuring that what is being sold actually meets the specifications. Not all the time, but with these little space heaters, I find normally they are very honest, and the power ratings are specifically to that device, and they actually are very accurate. So I would say if you're going to run a little ceramic space heater inside of your RV, try to do 500 watts or less. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. Believe it or not, plug in a 500 one, Close your doors, close your windows, make sure everything's closed. Within about an hour or two, the inside of your trailer should be feeling pretty good. Now, granted, that's for small trailers. If you have larger trailers, guys, I'm just going to suggest that you run your furnace or get a diesel heater. That's another one. Diesel heaters are actually very, very good. If you want to take the opportunity to buy a diesel heater, learn how it works, set it all up, get it set up in your unit, go that route. But if you have small trailers, things like that, I would suggest small ceramic heaters, 500 watts or less. Your plugs can handle that, and you can still run multiple devices on the other plugs at the same time. Low yield devices, 500 watts is a lot of power. I'm just going to say. So even though it's only 500 watts, that's still a lot of power for your plugs in your trailer. However, on a safety margin, it is still safe to run 500 watts pretty much with a few small low-powered devices with it, like computers or a TV or something of that nature. Okay? Those big space heaters, even those small ones, you're like, oh, it's small, so it's better because it's smaller. No. That one's huge, and it's still only 1100 watts. Those normal little space heaters you get like this big from places, those are normally like 12 to 1500 watts. Actually are more power than that big one back there. And that's not even acceptable to run in the trailer. So all I'm trying to emphasize on, guys, is do not run space heaters unless you understand the power consumption being had by them and the usage and the amperage output. Your trailer plugs are only really rated to use 80% of their capability. And if you do run them all the way up to the 80% mark, it's still really bad for the socket itself. You should still, most of the things you plug in should only use about half the capacity of the plug's capability if you want those plugs to stay in good condition. They are just what we call push plugs. So basically on the back of it, like a normal house one, you would have wiring and you would insert it and screw things in. With trailer ones, they are push wire tabs. Basically just you pull the wires out, you push them in, and there's just two little squeeze brackets that hold them into place, and that's it. They're very simple plugs. They are known to have lots of issues, and by not screwing them in like a normal house one, you're actually creating backfeed on those wires. You're creating heat, right? Because there's resistance being caused by not having a good solid connection like you normally would at your house. That's why these outlets burn out. That's why it's not good to run those bigger, 12, 1500 watt systems on your stuff, because it was never designed for that kind of stuff. And I know it sounds so simple. You're like, I'm gonna get a trailer, it's cold out, I'm gonna get the space heater, I'll be fine, it'll just plug into my wall outlet. No, that's how you burn your trailer down and frag your entire electrical system. I'm being 100 with you here. If you guys have further questions, feel free to drop below. And if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so. Consider joining my membership program. And if you would like to buy us a cup of coffee or maybe a gallon of gas so we can take another 8 miles of a trip somewhere, feel free. All of my information is down below. I will also present you with a few tags that you can jump onto if you like the information we provided. I'm just here to make sure you guys have good information, solid information that's not going to burn your camper down and frag your entire electrical system. So be smart. RV camping is a lot of fun. You just got to do some math and just be smart. Understand everything that you're plugging into your trailer at all times and how it is supposed to work with the system. Remember, your plugs are only designed to be able to handle 80% of their capability. And that's still pushing them to their absolute max. So most of the devices you plug in should be 500 or less, 700 tops. And then I would really be careful running multiple devices in your other outlets if you're pulling 700 from one, because remember, they pretty much all run on the same circuit. So just be very, very careful. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, show me some love. Toodles.